Assalamu alaikum everyone. This is me Fatima Khan, Business Wali. I am a student of Rehan AI Teachers Training Institute Batch 22. So today I discuss a very important topic with Sasmi. The topic is the art of effective listening, how to really hear others. So let's start the conversation.
Hey there. What's on your mind today?
Today we discuss the topic the art of effective listening, how to really hear others.
Oh, interesting. So many people think they're listening, but they're really just waiting for their turn to talk. What sparked your curiosity about this specifically?
What does effective listening really means beyond just hearing words?
About showing up fully for the other person. It's not just catching the words they say, it's absorbing the emotion behind them, the body language that might be saying something different than the words, and really trying to understand their perspective, even if you don't agree with it. It's almost like stepping into their shoes for a moment.
Why do people often listen to reply instead of listening to understand?
We're wired that way, honestly. Our brains want to categorize and connect everything to our own experiences. It feels safer to formulate a response while someone's talking, like we're prepared, staying in control. But then we're usually just like waiting for that pause, that breath, so we can jump in. It's not a conscious thing, it's just easier than truly being present with what the other person is actually saying. Plus, people usually get bored or uncomfortable when someone pauses a lot, so they don't let others finish.
How can someone become a better listener in daily conversation?
A few things that actually work. First, consciously slow down. Force yourself to pause for a beat before jumping in. Second, summarize back what you think you heard. So it sounds like you felt frustrated when, is that right? That simple check in clarifies if you're actually on the same page. Lastly, ditch the solutions mode. People often just want to be heard, not fixed. Save the advice unless they specifically ask for it.
What are the biggest barriers to effective listening?
I think the biggest ones are probably distraction. The world's really good at pulling our attention away. Then there's personal bias, our own beliefs and judgments cloud how we hear. Also, our emotional baggage. Like if someone says something that hits a nerve, we immediately go defensive instead of trying to truly hear what they're saying. And honestly, sometimes it's just being tired or overwhelmed. Our brains can't handle listening well when they're already maxed out.
How does active listening improve relationships?
It's huge for relationships. When people feel truly heard, they feel validated and understood, and that creates trust. It's like a really simple form of respect, but a really powerful one. When you show someone you're genuinely listening, you're basically saying, I care about what you're thinking and feeling. And most connection comes from those moments of genuine care that builds intimacy and strengthens the bond between people, plain and simple.
What is the difference between hearing and truly listening?
Hearing is passive, sound waves hitting your eardrums. Listening is active, it's intentional. Hearing is like noticing the car alarm outside, while listening is like understanding why your friend is upset about a difficult day at work. One's physical, the other is mental and emotional engagement. You can hear a symphony, but not be listening to its emotional depth. You get the sounds, but not the soul behind it.
How can body language show that you are really listening?
Yeah, our bodies basically leak what we're really thinking. Direct eye contact without staring, nodding, to show you're following, and keeping your body open and relaxed. Mirroring someone's posture subtly can also help. It shows you're connecting with them on some level. And honestly, put your phone down. That's the biggest tell that someone's not really with you. All those little cues say way more than your words can.
Okay. Why is empathy important in effective listening?
Without empathy, you're just analyzing words from your own perspective, right? Empathy is what lets you step outside yourself and actually feel what the other person's feeling. It's about not just knowing they're upset, but actually recognizing that emotion resonating with you. If you get that right, it's way easier to understand where they're coming from and to connect without interrupting or steering them off track. Otherwise, you're just processing their message and completely ignoring who they are when they are telling you what they are saying.
How can distraction affect our listening ability?
Distractions are brutal for listening. They basically cut off your focus. But it's more than just phones and noise. Distractions happen inside too. When you're thinking about what you're going to say next, or worrying about something else, or just having a mental movie playing in your head, that's internal distraction. It's like trying to run two programs on the same computer. One of them's going to be sluggish. Really good listening needs all your mental bandwidth. Otherwise, you lose pieces.
What techniques can help improve focus while listening?
I think one really simple technique is anchoring. Picking one thing and like really focusing on it while someone is speaking. For instance, maybe their voice or their eyes or the way they're holding their hands. It gives you one point to stick to. Another that I've heard about is labeling your distractions. If you find yourself thinking, I need to pick up groceries, just quietly think distraction and let it pass without following it down a rabbit hole. Mindfulness helps with that piece. It's about noticing your thoughts without judgment and then letting them drift by.
How can we avoid interrupting others while they speak?
This is a tough one because so much of it is habit. The biggest thing is self-awareness. When you catch yourself starting to form your response while the other person's still talking, recognize it and actively pause. Physically put your hands down if you're gesturing while forming your response. You can also mentally tell yourself, let them finish. Sounds simple, but it creates a tiny bit of space for you to refocus. And honestly, a lot of it comes down to practice and being okay with silence.
Why do some people feel unheard even in conversation?
It usually comes down to feeling like the other person isn't truly present with them. They might be getting platitudes instead of genuine engagement. Their emotions might be brushed aside, or they sense the other person is waiting for their turn to talk. It's also about feeling minimized or invalidated, like your perspective isn't valued. When someone's constantly interrupted, talked over, has their feelings dismissed, they start to shut down and feel like they're talking into the void. It chips away at that feeling of connection.
What role does patience play in effective listening?
Patience is huge. Truly, listening means being willing to sit with discomfort, with pauses, with emotions that don't neatly resolve, with perspectives that challenge your own. It's easy to want to rush things forward, to fix, or to offer immediate solutions. But that doesn't give the other person space to fully express themselves. Patience means being present with what's actually happening in the moment, even if it's messy or takes time. Real listening isn't always efficient. It's about honoring the process.
What are some signs that someone is not listening properly?
There are so many telltale signs. The biggest one is they're constantly looking around, checking their phone, or getting easily distracted. They might interrupt you frequently, finish your sentences, or jump to conclusions about what you're going to say. They often ask questions that have already been answered or just change the subject entirely. And one that's hard to notice, they struggle to remember what you said moments earlier. That's the tell they weren't really processing it in the first place.
My last question is this: what daily exercise can help build stronger listening skills?
I'd suggest one simple thing: put it into practice with someone you care about. Each day, choose one conversation where you commit to absolutely no interruptions. Really absorb what they're saying instead of planning your response. At the end, summarize back what you heard to make sure you understood. Start small. Even just one focused conversation a day can make a real difference. Plus, it builds better connections with people you care about. Win win.
Okay, thank you. So, this is all about the conversation with Sasmi. I hope you learned something new in this conversation. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening to me. Allah Hafiz.